To set your preferences in Punchit, you'll need to log into the admin area. So we will click admin, type in our admin password. Again, by default, that admin password is admin, lowercase a-d-m-i-n. Once you're in the admin area, you'll see that you have a bunch of tabs up here at the top, and you will also have some sub-tabs within some of these sections. For this one, we're going to go to the Preferences tab. Within the Preferences tab, the first screen that you see is General Preferences. Okay? The first thing that you'll probably want to do is go ahead and click on this button to add a password. This will let you know that the password is chosen right now, but that's the default password of admin. You'll probably want to type in your own. For the sake of this, I'm going to type in 1234, but you'll want to choose whatever password works best for you. And now you have that chosen. Should you just want to zero out that password, you could select that, delete that information, and it will tell you that the password is currently blank. But I'm going to go ahead and put that back in. And then you have an admin name. Now this is going to be the name of the person in your organization who employees should be directed to contact in case of issues. Should they run into an issue with Punchit, there are certain dialog screens that might pop up and say Punchit encountered an error, or you can't do that, contact this person. And so this would be the person you would type in there. If you are ready to purchase Punchit, you can purchase a Punchit unlock code from our website. Once you have that unlock code, you would just click on Unlock Punchit. You would be presented with a dialog. You could paste in that unlock code, hit submit, and it would unlock Punchit into either the single or the multi-user version. Also, if you have data from an earlier version of Punchit that you want to import, you can do that here. Not all data from earlier versions of Punchit will import, so you've got options for the stuff that will import. There were quite a few structural changes to Punchit between versions 3 and 4, and not all data was supported, unfortunately. To set your punching preferences, click on the Punching tab here. From here, you can set up what your employees or how Punchit will work for your employees. For instance, use Quick Punch mode. You can choose yes or you can choose no. Now, Quick Punch mode, I'll demonstrate in a later video, but Quick Punch mode essentially will take the employee directly to a screen where they can just key in their employee number, or they can scan a barcode and they will be punched in or punched out automatically without ever needing to navigate to their time card and click a button and log out and so forth. It's basically if you're setting up a machine that's going to be a kiosk and you just want them to walk up with minimal interaction, punch in and punch out, you would use Quick Punch mode. If Quick Punch mode is activated, it wants to know, should it take the employee to the current time card? So you can use Quick Punch mode using a barcode and have it navigate them to their time card. Typically you'll use no for that, but if you'd want them to be able to punch in with a barcode but still navigate to their time card, then you would change that to yes. Okay? Quick Punch input value is, okay? This wants to know, when using Quick Punch mode, what is the employee going to key in? Well, the employee is either going to key in their own employee number or they're going to key in the barcode. Now, technically they are not going to key in the barcode. They would use a barcode scanner and it would input the barcode value for you. But if you're using a barcode scanner, you'll set this to barcode. Okay? Then it wants to know which day of the week your work week starts on. By default, Punchit uses Sunday, so it would be a Sunday through Saturday week. If your work week starts on Monday and your pay period is Monday through Sunday, then you could just change that to Monday or any other day of the week. Okay? Hourly punches can be rounded using this next setting. You can choose to round the punches to the nearest quarter hour. Okay? That would mean that if they clock in at say 9:35, it will round it back to 9:30. If they clock in at 9:40, it will round it up to 9:45, and so forth. And you can just turn that off if you don't want it to round those hours. Require employees to be on the clock to work on jobs. This has to do with the job log functionality. If you plan on having your employees log time against jobs in Punchit, and you want to make sure that they are actually on the clock when they're logging their time, then set that to yes. And that way, anytime they try to open a job log entry to work on a job, they will be prompted to clock in and acknowledge that, yes, they're now on the clock. And then auto stop job log entries when the employee punches out. The idea there is pretty simple. If the employee goes to punch out for the day and they have job log entries that are open, yes, here we'll tell the system to go ahead and close all those. Okay. You may have noticed that each of these has a little question mark next to them. On any of these, you can click on that question mark and it'll pop up a basic description of what that setting is, similar to what I just went over. Okay, overtime. Punchit can handle daily and weekly overtime. For those users in California, you know what I'm talking about. There are a few other states that are either switching to this system or considering it. But essentially, in some states, the labor laws require that you pay an employee for any hours over a certain point in a day. They will earn overtime for those hours. This would mean that if you had this set to calculate daily single overtime, if you had this set to yes and you had this set to 8, then any hours over 8 in a single day will earn overtime. So if they work 10 hours, they're going to get 8 hours of regular pay and 2 hours of overtime. If you have double overtime set, some states require that you pay double overtime rather than time and a half once the employee reaches 12 hours, or you could set this to whatever value you would like. So say the employee works 14 hours, then they would be paid for 8 hours of regular time. They would be paid for 4 hours of time and a half, or as Punchit refers to it as single overtime, and they would be paid for 2 hours of double overtime. So that just gives you some flexibility there. And Punchit also can calculate weekly overtime. So any regular hours during the week that exceed this amount, which by default is 40, they would be paid time and a half. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn these back off for the sake of this video. I don't need those on, but that's what those do. And then you have company information. This information is just basic information about your particular company. And you have an area here where you can insert a company logo. You would just simply click on this logo and you would be prompted to choose a new logo. So you could insert your logo on that screen, and then on the main screen of Punchit, it would display your logo rather than the Punchit logo. So some people prefer to set that way. So those are your basic preferences within Punchit. Again, you have your punching options, how it will handle things as employees punch in and out, how it will handle overtime, and your company information. Okay? Once you're done with those, you can just log out or navigate to the next section of preferences or requests or punches or products or anything that you want to look at.